Welcome to the Wisdom Inside Out podcast.
The society tells us we're incomplete without a partner. You have to calm yourself down. You have to not say a word in front of your husband or your spouse, or when it comes to decision making in a family, your words or your voice is silenced. To all the women out there, please have faith in yourself. Trust yourself. Trust your decision making. Please do know that you're not alone in this journey.
It's not about how it starts, it's how you want to end it. We have the time, we have the power to write the rest of the story. So just work on yourself. You will attract the same level of energies. So so it come back to that self-love, self-acceptance, and self-compassion.
Don't chase love. Never chase love. Love shouldn't be chased. Love should be a natural process. Allow it to happen naturally. Don't chase it.
So, coming back to your self-care, self-compassion, what do you, because also another one as well, if you couldn't find a friend that you really trust, I also recommend writing in a diary or just recording your voice of your problem and listen it back.
Yeah.
So sometimes, because what I really believe is that the answer is always in the questions, always in the problem. So if you write down all your problem and reread it back, you will have a clarity, you will have the answer. Or if people that's not into a habit of writing a journal or diary, then record your voice of your problem and listen to it back if you're not comfortable sharing with people.
Yeah.
But the reason I highly suggest the coach, because they see life more 360. And some people, I know for me, some clients, they really just stuck into the cycle of thought, or they stuck into that cycle of emotions. And but try with the diary, try with recording your voice into and listen to it a few times. I'm sure you will have more clarity by listening to your problem a few times.
Absolutely. And like I said earlier, Lena, when things like this happen, we feel very ashamed of ourselves. But we have to remember, shame thrives in silence. And the only way you can break through that is by talking to yourself. Even if it's like saying one good thing about yourself, be gentle, be kind. Don't penalize yourself for something you did not create, something you did not, you did not know about, something that's not your fault. Be kind to yourself. The society has set such high standards for women that we're always like, sometimes it's like the society makes women believe that we're incomplete without a partner, and that belief can be very deeply damaging. And most of us, me myself, actually speaking of myself, I come from a very conservative family. My parents raised me in a very strict way, and for us to like go out to a dating world, that was like something I did that was not even something that my dad would have ever entertained or would have ever permitted me to do. So with that kind of mindset, that we call it scarcity mindset, people do not believe in all those kinds of like dating websites, allowing your kids to make the decision, allowing your kids to make mistakes and learn from it. To all the women out there who are in this situation, you don't have to please anybody. Society tells us that we have to shut down. We have to keep giving even if we are depleted. The society tells us we're incomplete without a partner. You have to calm yourself down. You have to not say a word in front of your husband or your spouse, or when it comes to decision making in a family, your words or your voice is silenced. To all the women out there, please have faith in yourself. Trust yourself. Trust your decision making. Please do know that you're not alone in this journey. Be strong enough to like listen to yourself and walk away if you have to. You do not have to please the world. You do not have to allow anybody to define you. You don't have to let anyone validate you. We don't need any of that. We are whole, and we are resourceful, and we are complete in ourselves. Even if I made a mistake, I know I made a mistake, and I'm very guilty of that. But then when I made the mistake, I learned so much from it. That shame kind of like made me, like I found a voice in that, and whoever I became today is because of that. I reclaimed my voice, and here I am today speaking in front of people that you will be that will be watching my video. I found my voice, and so can you. We have to understand that we are in control of our lives. If change has to
Mm.
happen, it has to come from us and within us. We're the ones who have the control. We're on the driver's seat. Nobody else has the right to take over the control of our lives. We know where we want to go. We are on the driver's seat. We should be able to get to our destination without any pressure. You shouldn't feel pressured.
Mm.
No relationship, no love, no nothing should be pressured. It should be a natural process. And you don't have to like wake up every day thinking, oh my God, I have to wake up and do this, this, and this for somebody. First, think about yourself. What would you do when you wake up? Set up your, goals. Set up, do your journaling. Take your walks. Go get some fresh air. Do things that makes you happy. And that's self-care. That's self-compassion. That's self-love right there. And when we start loving ourselves, we will not have that space that we need for someone else to come and fill it for us. Because we have so much love and abundance to give to our own selves that there's no room for anyone else to come and fill that space up for us. And that's what
Mm.
I think most of us lack. And I would speak highly for myself, because when we come from families like mine, oftentimes we're not privileged to be able to come out and speak like this. And I was very, very like blessed to be able to join the school and to reclaim my voice and be able to voice it this way. But I'm sure there are plenty of women out there, who are not able to, who are not privileged, who are not blessed enough to be able to do that. So please believe in yourself. Believe in your decision making skills. Believe in your heart and your mind says. And if something doesn't seem right, walk away. You don't have to listen to the world. You don't have to do what the world tells you to do. Walk away. You're allowed to do so. You're worthy of yourself. You're worthy of love. And there's no harm. It's not a sin to fall in love. It's, love is a very beautiful feeling. And everybody's allowed to have that. And you shouldn't be penalized for falling in love. Nobody should be penalized for
Mm.
falling in love.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're stronger than you think or you believe you are.
Mm. That's spot on. Like if people follow my previous few episodes on the uploads on my YouTube channel, I was searching a lot of things from the external. And to me, I realized the reason I was searching for all these connections, for all this love, for all this freedom, freedom in shopping, freedom in traveling.
Yeah.
Like I realized shopping is because I was searching for the feeling of I can do whatever I want. It's really just for freedom. And the reason I want to travel a lot because of I want to escape from my daily life, to find another freedom from somewhere else. And I realized that the freedom, the love, and the reason I want all these connections with people, relationship with so many looking for a partner that can complete me and all those stuff. I was looking for connection, and I come to realize that all of these things that I'm searching from the external, it's not sustainable. The reason I want to connect is because I lost connection with my soul, with my gut instinct, and then the reason all these things is already within me. So come back, like I said, the world of opposite, the inside and the outside. Ego will tell you that everything's on the outside, but really the answer to everything is in the inside. Come back to yourself. Come back to yourself and reconnect it back to your soul. And I'm not saying this because I'm a coach, trust me, because I feel like I have enough, and what I'm doing, what I'm learning, I just want people to experience when you everything coming from your within, the love, the connection, the freedom from yourself, like you love yourself unconditionally. Everything else on the outside will change too. The outside is just the reflection from inside.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for me, for 30 plus years, I don't know how to connect it to my soul. I don't know how to connect it to my gut instinct. And and this is why you see so many success people or Hollywood people, they have so many things on the outside and they still commit suicide, because the truth answer is not on the outside, it's on the inside. You need to look inward, and that is, you need someone to guiding you. Like Sharma found her her within. Like, she found her parent to comfort her little inner child that always triggered in the past, because the parent figure haven't shown up before. And now the parent figure show up. Every time that fears, that little inner child flare up, she know how to handle it, because the parent, the one that coming from your soul, know how to comfort it, know how to handle it. It's just like the sky doesn't have impact by the cloud. So you can just, and that is one of the strategies that I help clients to overcome or to release their pain as well, is because of I'm doing this somatic work, ground yourself with something safety and power, and allow this fear to come through. And it's just, to me, when you allow this fear to come through and feeling it that you are okay, regardless when this coming up again, it's like vaccination to your nervous system. A lot of people resist to feel the pain because we're judging it that this is bad, and when we judge it, we stuck with it. So it's so many things. If you were interested between me and Sharma to go into more details about these, and we can organize a new sessions, comment below. We love to hear from you. And coaching is all about the alignment between your heart, your head, and your hand. And this is either the episode me and Sakshan was talking about the body-mind connections. You have to align, because for me, for years, I didn't align it. And that's why there's something's always missing. And when you aligned it, everything was just enjoying process. Everything was just fun. Like you said, we don't have a choice of what's giving you. Like me, I don't have a choice to choose cancer, and you don't have a choice to have that scam come into your life. But what we can do is that we can be creative with what is given to us. I feel that I waste so much time arguing, like, why is this happening to me, And that is not my role. My role is to be creative with what is life or gift to me. And cancer was one of the gifts to give it to me. And I decided to turn it to an inspiration and sharing my message around, So you have to be creative with what is life given to you. You don't have a choice to bargain. Oh, I want to be beautiful. I want to be taller. We don't have a chance, but we're wasting so much time on trying to bargain of what is given to you, and the clock is ticking. It's not going to be here for 1,000 years. So we need, our role is to be creative with what is given to us. And that is to be accepted first and then be creative about it.
Exactly. I agree.
Yeah, exactly. So Sharma, coming back to maybe share a few tips about how you self-care, self-compassion, what are you practicing every day? I heard you share about self-affirmation, maybe just to repeat it again in 3 that you can share.
Absolutely. So for my self-love, what I do, my self-love, I actually started like journaling. I journal a lot now as opposed to before. I never did journaling before. I pray a lot. I used to pray before too, but now I pray a lot. When I was going through the darkest moments of my life, I prayed. I asked for forgiveness. I cried in my prayers a lot, and those helped me a lot. So prayers and meditation, whatever you do, however you connect yourself to God, continue doing that, because those are very, very important for a person. I feel like if I don't pray one day, my day is not good. I don't feel good about it. I feel like I'm accomplishing what I want to accomplish, but I don't feel good about it from inside. Something just feels disconnected. So I enjoy praying, and I take time to do that. I like to connect to God. I like to disconnect from the whole world, and I want to be able to feel that I am so connected to God that God listens to what I'm saying. I want to be able to speak to God like that. I love journaling. I take walks. I love nature. I like to spend a lot of time on my own now. I don't surround myself with too many people, because it allows me to focus on myself. It actually helps me with my mental health also. And when I need clarity, I feel like when I'm alone, I take walks. My mind is working way better. I feel like I get more clarity when I'm, like walking or thinking, like if I am working on a project, or if I'm working on a coaching session, or if I'm working on something regarding work. I take a walk and I have a clear mind, and things start coming to my mind. So I get more clarity when I'm doing things like solo. And I started doing a lot of things alone because I feel like the more time I spend alone, the less it makes me feel like I need to fill that space to have somebody with me. Even though I am married now and I have a husband, and my life is good. But at the same time, I started like noticing, and I started realizing that you don't have to always be with your partner. You have to give that person the space he or she needs just as much as I need mine. So I started focusing on that, like taking walks. I enjoy nature. I love listening to music. I haven't gotten a chance to do that in a long while because I've been so busy with school and my job and everything. But yeah, those are some of the things I enjoy doing, which help me heal. A lot of like meditation, praying, journaling, taking walks by myself. If I have to like disconnect, I disconnect. Yeah, some those are some of the things that really helped me. And I had to I had to be gentle to myself. I always have to remind myself that I'm only human. I'm only human, and what happened to me doesn't define me. Again, I'm gonna repeat this over and over as many times as I can. What happened to me wasn't my fault, you know, and that's not gonna define me. It's not gonna define who I am today. I am who I am, and I'm always going to be who I am. I'm going to get better. All these experiences are only making us better by a day. I became a much.
Definitely.
All this the incident made me rise and rise and be stronger. It made me wiser. It made
Mhm.
me more compassionate, and it allowed me to like be able to like be that awareness for women or men who are out there going through the same situation or maybe worse, or are planning, or like maybe they're in the middle of online dating or something. These are some of the things that people need to be aware of. Just my whole purpose of being here today was to bring that awareness about online dating. Online dating can be fun, but at the same time, we all have to be very, very mindful because we may end up in situations like that. When I posted my story on one of my social media platforms, I got so many responses from so many people saying that they're so happy that they can resonate to somebody who has the same experience as them. That's when you realize that you're not the only one who was a victim of these circumstances. There are many people out there who have been a victim of this type of circumstances. It's just that they can't find the voices. They don't have the
Mhm.
courage to come out and speak in public. So I'm very, very
Mhm.
happy to be here today. And Lena, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I cannot express how blessed and happy I am to be able to come out here and to be able to speak this out loud, and to bring that awareness to many people who may be able to benefit from this story. I wasn't happy.
Yeah.
Past 7 8 years of my life when this incident happened wasn't the greatest moments of my life. I wasn't how I am today. But here I am. This incident made me so much more stronger. So just hang tight, believe in yourself, believe in your decision making, and just believe in what your intuition says. Trust your gut feeling, and always, always, always just spend time on yourself, learn yourself, love yourself, hug yourself, know yourself, and just prioritize yourself. That's very, very important.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And thank you so much for coming to share your story. It's very inspiring. And I see how strong you are because, like you mentioned, a lot of us experience problem, but we're too scared to speak up about we judge it as a weakness. It's not a weakness. That's where you learn your life. That's where when you're too scared to speak it up, it's like you're stuck in a cage, and now you feel free when you share about it, right? Like same with me when I share with my own cancer journey. A lot of people actually open up. Like they're too scared to talk about it because they're afraid that people might judge or might think to them otherwise. But when you freely talk about it, you feel so free about it, and you learn so much, and you raise awareness. With my cancer journey, I share with too many friends, and they go and check up their health. And thanks God, a few of them, they check up and they found the sickness and in a early stage. So I'm so happy for you to come out and share this awareness. I'm sure, especially us women,
Yes.
we've been trained to take care of everyone around us, but ourselves last. And like you mentioned, we cannot pour from an empty cup. We cannot give what you don't have. So we need to come back and work on ourselves first. Fill our cup with love first, so you can give out the love properly, or else you give out the love from a minus. You may doing and giving looks like you're giving a lot, but the energy during this time that you're giving is the energy of stress, anxiety, burnout, frustration, and people can sense it. Even though you do so much for them, but you're carrying all this energy from a negative energy because you don't have that love in your cup from the first place. You cannot give what you don't have, and it have to be come back to you, and you learn to love yourself again. So, and then when you know how to love yourself, you know how to love others better. And this is remind me when I read Jay Shetty's book. I'm not sure if you read it, the love book that he sent it for all the students. So he put down that if you like a flower, you cut a flower and put it in the vase to look at. But if you love a flower, you will water the garden and let the nature of the flowers stay where it are, and just observe it from far. So when you love you truly love yourself, you love everything about it. You don't have to change the nature of it. Just embrace it and welcome it. And the same when you truly love, and that's when I start to learn to love myself with all the imperfections. I learn to love my kids and my husband the same, just the way they are. And people think that when you love the way they are, they will be spoiling and they will become naughty. Like I told you, the world of opposite. It looks like when you love them as the way they are, they become more naughty, but it's not. They feel more ease, they feel more peace, they feel valuable, and that's when they transform themselves to be the best version. Not by you constantly try to fix them and try to change them. By you loving them as the way they are, they nourish 100 times better. And I see it with my own eye with my kids. You know, I try to fix him, I try to control him, and the same with my husband. And now I get the husband and the kids that I always dream of just by love them the way they are, and they just turn to be that best version of themselves. So don't fall for, you know, thinking that you try to fix them and change them. That's the way to go. No, the world of opposite. So, coming back to, you know, I know you have a lot of self-trust, but what do you do in terms of setting boundary to protect that, to build that self-trust for yourself again? Any boundaries that you have been doing that you can recommend to a lot of us women out there that we can, you know, start practicing and doing to come back to themselves again?
Yeah. So now, after this experience, I have learned to reevaluate, you know, I decide who I want to allow into my life. I don't allow anybody and everybody into my life anymore. I evaluate, I question, and I investigate, I pause, and then I decide who I want to allow into my life. I have become so picky, and so not picky is probably not the right word. I became way more wiser when it comes to who I allow into my life now, who I want on my journey, who I want to share my time with, who I want to share my space with. I don't share my space with anybody and everybody. And this experience has given me the opportunity. This was the learning experience that has allowed me the opportunity to be able to reevaluate and to know who gets to, you know, sit in the front row of my life, who gets to be part of my life, who gets to be on the journey of my life. And I don't allow that to anybody and everybody anymore. I've learned to set healthy boundaries with people. I've learned to say yes, and I've learned to say no when I feel fit. And those are some of the things that has helped me a lot, because in the past I felt like I was a people's pleaser. I always said yes to everything. And when you try to please everybody, that's when you fall into those traps. You cannot please everybody at all, you know, all the time. You have to learn to say no. When things don't seem right, learn to say no, learn to walk away. So those are some of the boundaries I've set for myself going forward. And those have helped me reshape myself and actually bring me healthier relationships. So the people I surround with, I don't have many friends anymore. I just have very handful of friends, and those are all quality people. So I believe in quality over quantity. I don't want to be surrounded with hundreds of people who are not uplifting, motivating, or helping me in any way. If I'm not benefiting from anybody, I don't need that person in my life. I am very, very, very strict about what and who I allow into my life now. And that has helped me make better decisions. That has helped me become a better version of myself. And that has helped me find a purpose for myself. I feel like I have so much more value and so much more purpose into relationships that I have now. I feel more confident and content with the relationships I have only because I've learned to set healthy boundaries and I've learned to say no. Because sometimes when we keep pleasing others, it doesn't serve us well. So I started asking myself this question a lot. Every time I do something, I ask myself, how is this serving you? Where is this taking you? Well, how are you benefiting from this? Where is this going? Where is it going to take you? So these
Mm.
are some of the things
Mm.
I learned from the coaching school. I
Mm.
did not know all these things, you know. And
Mm.
when I start having doubts in my mind, the questions I ask myself is, how long has this been sitting with you? What is this doing to you? And how long have you been sitting with this? Like, I don't know. I don't know how to figure this thing out. I started
Mm.
challenging myself every single day. I wake up and I challenge myself. If my heart says that I cannot do something, I challenge myself and I go ahead and do it. Because when I challenge myself, that's the only time I break through the barrier. I break through the bubble that I build around me that helps me burst out of that bubble and regain my confidence. That's how I'm gaining my confidence back. Because all this while, all these years, all the limiting beliefs were holding me down so badly that I couldn't move forward. And that's when I was making all these bad decisions. And so now that I have transformed so much in the coaching school with Jeshuri certification school, I learned to like set healthy boundaries. I learned to question myself. I learned to challenge myself, and I'm finding purpose. I'm finding purpose in what I do every day. And every single day, I feel like I'm learning something new. And those are like some of the things that I wasn't doing in the past. And
Mm.
so these are some of the things I would highly recommend to anybody who is struggling with, there's lack of confidence, there is limiting beliefs that always holds you back and says no, you cannot do this. Those are not That's not reality. Those are illusions that
Yeah.
we build. We That's us.
Mm.
It's just us stopping ourselves
Mm.
from going. Those are not real. That's not reality. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. They're not real. I love it because our time is very limited regarding to the boundary. With our heart, we would love to help everyone, but not everyone. Like we say, not everyone are coachable.
Mhm.
If they think they already know everything and they already good, and they love to be the way it is, because sometimes I feel like, oh, just because I'm so close to this friend, you try, but not everyone are coachable. And this is why we need to set the boundary and set up,
Mhm.
save your energy for the right person. You could just spend 10 hours trying to talk to this person just to reflect or contemplate, but they're not ready for it. It's become a force, and where you could just use that 10 hours on other people that ready to transform and change. It's more effective that way.
Yep.
So setting the boundary, and like you said, I also have to have, as an eldest, people pleasing issues as well. And when you say yes to everything, that means it's a no to your soul. And you have to learn to set and start to expand your boundary. But if you know that which limit is hurting you, you need to set the boundary. It's not a selfish, it's a way to protect your soul, because you don't want to hold resentment on them. When you have not set the boundary and keep saying yes to everything, and then you feel hurt or uncomfortable, you are holding resentment to them. And to me, this is not a true, honest relationship. You need to live with truth. So allow them the opportunity to see who you really are, and
Exactly.
also allow them the opportunity to grow as well. Because
Exactly.
me, as an oldest, I do everything for my brothers. I thought that's the way of showing love, even though sometimes I feel burnt out. But no, setting the boundaries, saying no, allow them to grow and allow yourself some time so that way you don't hold any resentment from them. And this is when you live with truth. And then when you start handle a bit better, you start expanding your boundary a little bit more.
People also respect you more. When you set healthy boundaries, you will realize, you'll see people will respect you more. They give you more respect when you set healthy boundaries, because the more you give, the more they take. When you start withdrawing from that, and when you set healthy boundaries, people will give you more respect. They'll be more alert. Oh, you know what? I don't know if I can ask her if she can do this for me, because she may say no. So those are things that, they know that they respect you for that. So you have to understand that you cannot please everybody all the time. Set your boundaries, set healthy boundaries, reclaim your power, be able to say no when your body or your mind says no. Trust in yourself, believe in yourself, know that you're special, you're unique, you're you. Nobody else can define you. And people will say whatever they want. That's human nature. We all do that, We all define people. We try to judge people. Be authentic. Be true to yourself. Be bold enough to walk away. Be bold enough to voice your opinion. Be bold enough to you don't have to walk into a room making people feel that you know it all. You have to you have to be so confident in your skin that when you walk into a room, you just have to remember, you're not there to compare yourself with anybody. You're there because you know what you want out of your life. You know your worth. You know your self-worth. You know who you are. You don't have to compare yourself with anybody. Be authentic. Be true to yourself. That's the only way to live a authentic life. And most of our life, we please other people because we feel like when somebody gives you some kind of compliment, that makes you happy. We don't need those compliments. You need to be able to understand that you are whole, you're complete and resourceful.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, so I really want to highlight boundary as well, because boundary is the way to reclaim your power. It's you have to start setting the boundary first. And boundary, let me give you analogies. Boundary is like, if you don't set a boundary, it's like you have a candy shop store and you open the door 24/7. Anyone can just walk in and grab your candy for free because you didn't have any sign on it. Obviously, you can't blame them that because your store is open, you didn't put any sign. They just grab it for free and you get angry. Why did they grab it for free? It's common sense, whatever. Because you never tell them from the first place what is your boundary. And if you put a sign, okay, it closes at these hours. If you buy one candy, it's $3, put it here. It's clear and easy for everyone. So I see so many people that get upset for keep saying yes and then hold resentment later. And that's because they never set up a clear boundary. A clear boundary is like a contract. I do it with my kids, do it with my husband. Knowing your limit, how much you can take to protect the relationship from both sides, So boundary is a healthy way to set it up, to protect yourself and to protect others, to maintain a healthy relationship. And just like you draw up any other contract, it's just like every school have a rules, every house have a rules, yourself have a rule, and that boundary is that rule. What people need to do and how to respect you. And people respect you more because now they're seeing how you put it out there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So coming to the next questions, now that you believe in yourself more and trust yourself, how do you think the social expectation or pressure contribute to your situation? Like, what message would you like to share? And women out there, like you're facing similar challenges, like what is now that you're confident, you share your message, and how do you feel about the pressure from I'm sure you're confident about it, but I just want to share from your perspective now. How the world see you at the moment compared to in the past where you think people would judge you. How would you think the world would see you coming from this place?
For me, I had to remind myself, that this experience did not break me. It made me stronger. I wasn't broken for wanting to be loved. I want the world to believe that I'm not broken. Actually, I learned from this experience, And society usually, like I said in the past, earlier during our conversation, society puts so much pressure on women, literally like saying that we're incomplete without a partner. And I don't believe in that anymore. At some point, I used to believe that because that's how I was raised. If I go and say this to my mother, she'll think I'm crazy. She'll think somebody's brainwashing me or somebody's feeding my brain with all this nonsense. But now that I have learned, I've grown, I don't really feel that society should ever have to dictate what we as women want in our lives. Society should never allow or stop us from living our lives. Society should never stop us from, becoming who we want to become. We should love ourselves first. And if something doesn't seem right, we should be able to say no. We should be able to walk away. And that I didn't do in the past. I sometimes feel, and I blame my family for that too. I feel like whatever happened to me was maybe because, my family always had this expectation that I was supposed to be married 5 years ago and should have my family already. I should have kids. I should have been married. Career wasn't something that they wanted me to make out of my life. That was the very last thing that my family wanted me to do. My family wanted me to have a family of my own. But that wasn't what I wanted. This wasn't what Salma wanted. Salma wanted to be somebody that she wanted to be recognized for who she was. But that pressure that was building on me may have been one of the reasons why I was forced to join the online dating. Because I wanted to find a partner. I wanted to be loved. I wanted to be in a relationship. But that was all not true. That wasn't the path that I wanted to choose for myself. It was dictated. And that's something that we should never feel pressured to do. We should always be able to make decisions from our mind, like what we feel or how we feel fit. We shouldn't be pressured into what the society wants us to do, especially for women.
That's beautiful, Sama. I totally agree with you. Before, because I lost touch with my own gut instinct, with my own soul or intuition. I don't have my own compass. So I just watch what society is telling me. Oh yeah, you have to marry at this stage. Oh yeah, this is the safe to get the job. I lost touch, and now I have this belief. Who said that whatever society believe is the truth?
Exactly.
So I don't have that belief. I don't follow what majority people is doing anymore, because I feel that sometimes a lot of us will have FOMO, fear of missing out, and just want to be the
Yeah.
same as everyone. And I'm just like enjoy of missing out, like not watching the news, not talking. I just come back and focus on myself. So it's sometimes when you lost contact with your own compass, you look at majority as the standard what to do. At this age, you need to have a job. At this age, you have to marry. At this age, But when you have connected to your own compass, like you did, and self-confident, it doesn't bother you anymore. You are just living like a free bird out of the cage, just living, enjoying the fullest, the wholeness. And it's so beautiful to experience this, isn't it? Like when there's always people judge you regardless how famous you are, there's always people judge you. And this is why we need to come back to our own compass, our own self-trust, self-belief. It's okay, just like your grandma whinging about something, you can just smile and accept it, but it doesn't impact you. And this is why I have the episode talking about your self-worth or self-love. When you truly know your value, it doesn't impact you anymore. It used to impact me because I was unclear about my worth, my value. But when you are clear that you are a diamond, it doesn't matter your diamond throw in the dirt. It doesn't matter your diamond throw in mud. It still doesn't change the fact that it's a diamond. So finding all this self-worth, self-value is very important. And
Exactly. Yep. And I always felt, Lida, somewhere down the line, I felt like I lost myself in the midst of pleasing others. And now I am finding myself back again while I'm losing others, And I'm loving this version of me. I'm loving the version where I'm losing others but finding myself. Because what was I doing? Why was I going that route? It wasn't even serving me in any way, And so I'm very, very happy that I was able to join the school and become a life coach. The whole journey has transformed me so much. I've learned so much from this coaching school, and whatever I am today and how, be able to come out here and speak is all because of the school, because of life coaching.
Mm,
Had I not learned how to do this, I would have never been able to come out here. I would probably never have the courage to be able to speak out loud in public. I would have never be able to reclaim my voice and be able to share my story with people. I wouldn't be sitting here in front of you today trying to, bring this awareness to all the women and men out there who have been a victim of relationship scam. I would have never been able to share my story. So I'm so grateful that the school allowed us the opportunity to be able to, like discover ourselves, reclaim ourselves, to be rediscover ourselves, and to be able to find a purpose, and to be able to go out there and change the lives of many people who are in the same situation, worse, or going through a rough patch, and maybe not able to bring the awareness or their voices in. So this is
mm.
just a blessing, and I'm very, very thankful for that.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time, so much for what you're giving out to the world, and living our life with purpose and meaning.
It's
And
a pleasure.
and I really like it how you said self-discovery is losing others as well. So it is a bit scary at the beginning when you start to believe in yourself and you start seeing reaction from people around you. And
Yeah,
I totally understand where they're coming from, because they get used to who you are, and when you become a new person, they're just not
exactly.
used to it, and they're
Exactly.
just trying to pull you back to the same person that they used to. But if you follow your gut instinct and you keep walking the way you're doing, when you start producing outcome, that's when they start to believe, because people just believe on outcome, but you know what is right before even the outcome. That's why you keep you going and pushing all the effort, because you
Exactly.
know it is right for you, but people only believe outcome. So
Exactly.
that's okay. It's hard at the beginning when you haven't had the outcome yet,
Mhm.
but you're already feeling and start living it, and you will have a lot of comments, expectation, especially people around you. But it's not to judge them, but it's just to understand the nature of our mind. We like to be in the comfort zone, and they're just
Exactly.
not used to you doing something different. And they just saying comment something that they just want you to be the same. It's not that
Exactly.
they don't love you. It's just
Mhm.
that they not understanding how the mind works, how we like to stay the same, familiar, and this is run by ego. But
Mhm.
when you are connected to your soul strong enough, you
Yeah.
know that, okay, thanks ego for reminding, but I know this is right for me. So, and a lot of us run by ego. That's why we end up stuck in the same place, because ego is just like putting your feet on the brake all the time, and you're not growing. And human
Mhm.
nature, we need to grow and evolve to
Exactly.
find the true happiness. So
Exactly.
thank you so much, Sama. I know we can
Okay.
go on hours and hours, but since we have our time limit,
It's okay.
just coming back, yeah, coming to the last question now. I ask this question to all my guests as well, that if you live up to whatever age it is, and it's like your last day, or if you can come up with one piece of advice for our younger generation with all the learning that you have in life, if you
Mhm.
can leave one piece of advice for our humanity, what would
Mhm.
that be and why?
My advice to any generation would be true to yourself. Be authentic. We were not born to please anyone here. This one life we got. Make the best out of it. Find a purpose, live fully, and just enjoy what you do. You have to be true to yourself in order for you to be able to live authentic life. And in order for you to be authentic, you have to know yourself, you have to trust yourself, you have to trust your instincts, you have to trust your gut, you have to trust yourself, you have to love yourself enough that there's no space for anybody else. Don't chase love. Never chase love. Love shouldn't be chased. Love should be a natural process. Allow it to happen naturally. Don't chase it. Because when we chase, anything that we chase just is not meant for you, will only lead you to destruction. It's not gonna give you this, you are not going to benefit out of that, of the relationship or whatever you're trying to chase.
That's
Trust the
really
process, follow your instincts, follow your heart, put your heart and soul into what you enjoy doing, go out there, enjoy your life, live your life, find a purpose, and just just live your life to the fullest.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I feel that that's resonate with me as well when you say stay with your truth. Like for me, if looking back at my previous relationship, before I married, I think I didn't live with truth, because you were afraid that this person might not like your imperfection. That's because I was judging myself that some part of imperfection. So I didn't open up for him to know the truth of everything, and it turned out to be sabotage the relationship when you don't have relationship with your truth. And then with my current husband, when I start everything from the truth, so the truth is actually the best start. Like, yes, our mind will always tell you to live in a fantasy world, try to hide, don't show this, so that, but you're wasting time when you're not living with your truth. And when you start with your truth, that's how when you start transform faster as well, because like if we look at any file, we always go back to the source of truth. What is the truth information? So you can solve the problem, so you can investigate the case. It's the same when you live with your truth. It's the best way, it's the quickest way to transform. But a lot of us seems to try to avoid the truth, try to hide and try all this, and you end up wasting time. So that's really beautiful that you mentioned it. And thank you so much, Shama. I really enjoyed the time. Always chit chat with you,
My
and I
pleasure,
know we
my
can go on
pleasure.
for hours.
My pleasure. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. It was my pleasure to be here today, to be your guest and to be part of this journey with you. I'm very, very happy that you gave me the opportunity, Lena. It's always a pleasure seeing you. You're like that breath of fresh air, that sunshine in everybody's life. I'm so proud of you and so happy of you, what you've accomplished.
Yeah. Well, I just want to add as well
Yeah.
with that. I remember I really want to emphasize that for a lot of women out there, we seems to put ourselves last and focus on other external things. But really, when you start working on yourself, you create that you are the magnet. And when you work on yourself, whatever you are, you will attract people from the same level.
Exactly.
Be your own magnet to attract all the opportunity. I used to be that person always chasing all the running around for all the opportunity. No, but when you shift the attention back on yourself and working on yourself, the opportunity will come to you.
Exactly.
And yes, so come back and work on yourself. And the same,
Exactly.
look for a partner. I used to think that find a partner to complete me, but now I work on myself and find a partner that appreciate my value.
Exactly.
And we help each other to grow. Not it's all about he completing you, but he appreciate your value.
Exactly.
He see your values. And yes, it's so beautiful to go through this path. And yeah, thank you so much, Shama.
And another advice would be like, don't let bad experiences or like something that has happened in your life define you. Learn from it. Things happen. We're human. We make mistakes. Learn from it. Move on. Let go. Grow and evolve. Evolve and make yourself more stronger. That's the way to live life. That's the way.
Definitely.
Be yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Be kind to yourself. Don't sit with it. Don't think that you are, you were stupid to make that decision. You're stupid to do this. You're stupid to do that. We're not. We're only human. And there's a reason why there's an eraser on a pencil. So we can erase our mistakes, rewrite our story, and move on. Move on with your life. Your past is your past. Your past doesn't define you. You can rewrite your story at any point, anytime, whenever you feel like. This is your life. You are in control. You're in charge. You got this.
It's not about how it starts. It's how you want to end it. We have the time. We have the power to write the rest of the story.
Exactly.
And egos always want to take you to fear, to self-blame, to self-shame. It's very easy to get into that state, but that is the lowest vibration energy. If you put yourself in the self-blame, self-guilt, and fear, this run from fear, you got to be self-love, self-acceptance, and self-compassion. And that is the opposite of this vibration energy. And you will attract the same level of energy that what you have. So just work on yourself. You will attract the same level of energies. So it come back to that self-love, self-acceptance, and self-compassion. Thank you so much, guys.
You're
Thank you so much,
welcome.
Shama.
You're welcome.
If I will share all your social medias account on the screen, and for any audience wanna connect with you,
Absolutely.
and if they want to hear more stories regarding to relationship or something like that, then I would definitely have you over again.
Yeah, it will be my pleasure. Just let me know.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye.
Thank
Have
you.
a
Bye
good night.
bye. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to the Wisdom Inside Out. Stay tuned. Please follow me on this social media platform.